So that's how you get your trot lines put together. Now I've got about 60 hooks to make, which means 120 knots. 120 knots, 60 clips, and just a lot of work going. But hey, it's New Year's. We got till midnight. You call Molly? Molly's on candid camera back there. You want a gin and juice? Champagne? Yeah, you do. Okay, now it's time to make all our leader lines for all the trot lines and jug lines. I like mine to run about 18 inches long. And I start by making just a regular loop. And that's all I'm going to make the whole way down. I'll measure it on the table for 18 inches. And I'll come up, make a loop, double your line over in other words. And now I'm going to make an overhand knot. I'm going to go through that loop twice to make my loop. And this way I know it's not going to slip. Now I'm making about 70 feet worth of leaders, so I don't want any loss. I got my first loop, second loop, that's a whole leader. Before you cut it loose, go right on top of that second loop and make a third loop butted right up against it as tight as you can. Once again, going through twice to double that knot up and make that loop. Now what I have are two loops, one on top of another. But you can see how little line is between them right there. And this way I can cut that loose right there with absolutely no loss of line. If you were making your leaders singly, one by one, and clipping, you got 60 or 70 of these to go. That's an inch off of each end. You're losing 140 inches of line to trash. So if you do it this way, building one on top of another, after that first loop, just make two loops, two loops, two loops, and cut in between them. You'll never lose any line at all. Andrew has a bunch of these clips going already. This is what you're gonna do with these clips. You take your little loop and just push it through it and through it and pull it down. That'll hold your loop. Same thing with the hooks, guys. Just take your loop, pinch it, pull your loop through, pull loop over hook, and straighten it out. And that's all you need for your swivel. Then to keep them together, you hook them on the styrofoam or something similar to the way Andrew's doing. Each hook must be pushed into the styrofoam to get it to hold tight, and then wrap it. And your hooks will never loosen up and never get tangled. Because every next hook holds the hook before it.